right, so we got the Justice League trailers finally out. We also had one that came out earlier. I think it was Comic-Con or whenever it was. I don't remember, but
it's like a teaser, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. But this is now the newest one. So we're gonna do something a little bit different. We are gonna review the trailer, of course, but we're also gonna analyze it a little bit, shot for shot, just to give our ideas of or speculate some of the things we think might be happening. So minor spoilers in case anything we say might be right, just in case, you know. But I gotta say, so far, for this trailer, I like the tone, what I was seeing, and also I gotta say I like the action as well as the costumes. Everything looked really cool, especially the set pieces as well.
Yeah, it looked great. If anything, like we can expect from a Zack Snyder movie, it's gonna look amazing. The action's gonna be sick. All the shots are gonna be great. Let's just hope for a good story this time.
I agree with you. I do want to see definitely a little better story, and also I want to see something that makes sense where the team comes together. Obviously, we know what's going to pull them together as we're going to go into this. But the first shot we do get, I like how we get to see Bruce traveling in the snow, kind of reminds me of Han Solo and the gear he's wearing. But bit, yeah. I like how he's traveling in the snow. Also reminds you a little bit of Batman Begins, and he's looking for Aquaman. So that's really cool, and it makes you wonder why didn't he just take like a bat snow speeder or something, you know, like in the snow? But it's more.
You want to show him having the hardship of getting there. You know?
Yeah, I know he's a trained ninja. I get it, but I don't know. I feel you.
Yeah, you could just flown the Batwing in. That would have been a little inconspicuous.
Not inconspicuous.
So,
I feel you.
Yeah, and then we kind of see the conversation between Bruce and Wonder Woman, and they're talking about, you know, he's saying the threat's coming, and she says it's here. I kind of thought this part. I mean, I thought the trailer was great, but this part kind of I thought was a little bit cliche, where they're just like talking about how the threat's already here, and then they start kind of expositionally talking about each individual character. Like I like how they introduced the characters in this trailer, but I kind of wish it wasn't like, oh, he's a cyborg, oh, he can talk to fish, that kind of thing. But the visuals were great. I just thought the dialogue over that part was a little bit kind of, I mean, not cheesy, but just a little bit kind of cliche. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel you, but I like that they didn't really give us too much in the story, which is why we're kind of analyzing
we don't want to see story.
Yeah, for sure. But I like how we do get character intros in this, so that was really cool. But yeah, going over what you said, the great threat, they're obviously talking about Steppenwolf and the Parademons because, you know, obviously Darkseid has sent them, because we got to see that deleted scene where Lex Luthor was kind of, you know, making contact with Steppenwolf, and obviously also Bruce had that nightmare vision that Flash gave him where we saw Parademons. So now we get to see them, and then we get to see Miles Bennett Dyson from Terminator 2 with the Mother Box, and we see a Parademon right behind him. Doesn't this guy ever learn not to mess with cybernetic stuff? I mean, never learns this guy.
He's destined for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But no, he's a great actor. He's also in Speed too. So, but I like that actor. Joe Morton, I believe, is his name. But yeah, that was a great shot. I like how the Parademon, its eyes were glowing right behind him.
Right when the camera pans over. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And he's playing Silas Stone, who is the father of Cyborg, Victor Stone.
And they're definitely making it a point to show the Mother Boxes that they're gonna play a big role in this movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. It kind of reminds me, we're gonna obviously do a little Marvel DC stuff, not to compare, but it does remind me a little bit of the Infinity Stones, where they're gonna have like an integral part in this thing. And we do know that, as we saw in the email that Bruce sent Wonder Woman and Batman v Superman, that one of the Mother Boxes is in Cyborg. So it kind of also reminds me a little of Vision, where Vision's got the Mind Stone in his head, and now, you know, Cyborg's got a Mother Box inside, and we know that the Parademons and Steppenwolf want those Mother Boxes. So it's kind of like Vision, where Thanos is coming to rip that stone out of Vision's head. They're, Darkseid or Steppenwolf is coming to rip that Mother Box out of him. So I like that little similarity. That's really cool.
Yeah, we got a lot of really cool shots of all the newcomers, like the Flash with him, like, you know, going really quick, and you see all the lightning and all that, and then you see Cyborg just kind of punching through some stuff and looking all cool. And Aquaman, I think, looked like the sickest one. Just see him with a lot of action this whole trailer. So
yeah, no, for sure. In the shot we do see where Aquaman is saving that guy from drowning or from the tidal wave or whatever was there. I like seeing that because it shows the humanity in Aquaman. He's a god. He doesn't need to really save this guy, but it shows that he's a good, deep down he is good, and it shows the humanity in him. So I like seeing that just in that one shot right there. And then I love the humor, how he throws the guy in the bar like unharmed, but he says, hey, he takes the drink, says it's on him. Great humor and good line right there. I loved it.
I really like seeing Aquaman's personality because, like, I honestly don't know that much about Aquaman, but it seems like their take on this character for these films is going to be pretty funny and like very, very humorous.
And I like Jason Momoa. He looks good. Yeah,
he fits the role very well.
Yeah, and one thing I gotta say about Cyborg, I know a lot of people are complaining about the CGI of it, but really how I look at it is we're in March right now, and the film comes out in November. I'm not saying that the CGI was phenomenal. It didn't bother me at the point, what the hell is this? It could have been a little better, I'm not going to lie, but I have faith that by the time we get to November, it's going to be really good. And also, I get that Iron Man vibe where, it's mostly CGI, and it looks great when you see it on screen. So I'm really not that worried about Cyborg. He looks great in the action and the scenes and how we were getting his personality as well. I liked what I was seeing, so it looked good. One baby nitpick I would have is I really hope, because when we heard him talk, he just sounded normal. I hope they give him a little bit of that robotic voice, kind of like RoboCop, where you hear that robotic voice, or even Terminator when he starts getting damaged a little, you hear the robotic voice a little bit in him. So again, just a nitpick. I'm not going to go crazy in the theater if they don't have it. And I think they had that in the animated series too, where he did have that cybernetic like voice, where he still has his voice, but he's got that robotic voice too. So me personally, that's what I'd like.
And then we finally get to see Batman in his suit, and he looks sick as all hell. And I don't know about everybody else, but I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman.
I love him.
I think he fits the role pretty well. And, I mean, he looks great in the suit. He looks obviously jacked as usual, but it was cool seeing him in that kind of darker gray suit. I think it looked really good.
Yeah, and I gotta say, too, the way he was moving, his agility, he looked like he was moving so much quicker in this armor suit than the one we saw in the Dark Knight Returns armored suit in Batman v Superman. So I like how quick he was moving to fight the parademons. The suit really, and the quick shots we got, it really reminded me of the Batman Arkham Knight from the video game suits, and that's one of my favorite suits ever. So if you're reminding me of that, that's a really good thing. So
and the Batmobile looks sick again, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And then also, I gotta say, when Aquaman was taking out the parademons with his trident, it kind of reminds me of, like, this is what would happen in Little Mermaid if her father, like, went apeshit and just wanted to, like, go crazy on things. Like, hey, one can hope, right? I love the shot where we get to see Wonder Woman going hand to hand. Now, most of this trailer, we get to see the Justice League fighting parademons for the most part. So in this, we see her fighting, if you watch, which I'm sure we're going to focus in right here on, you see her fighting with humans who just have gloves and they're bald-headed. Really reminded me of the Hitmen or like Agent 47. I was like, hey, are we crossing over here? But that looked really cool. I'm just curious, like, who are those guys? Are they like programmed by Steppenwolf, or do they turn into parademons at some point? So it's going to be interesting to see why she's fighting humans or what that's for. So I thought that was an interesting shot and really cool. The hand-to-hand combat style, I'm already liking what I'm seeing from Wonder Woman, so that looks cool.
And yeah, we kind of see the same shot as in the Batman v Superman trailer, where she kind of like jumps down right in front of it. Instead of Batman and Superman, it's in front of Aquaman and Cyborg. And Cyborg, yeah, and just to me, it like kind of looked like the same exact shot, but that doesn't really bother me because it was a cool part of the movie. We also see Lois Lane kind of thrown in there real quick just to hint. Obviously, Superman's in this movie, not in the trailer, which I like, but we know he's in the movie. So.
Yeah, of course, it is to remind you that he is in this movie. I also got to say, like you said too, I really like the humor in this trailer. Obviously, my favorite line by far is when Barry Allen says, "Where are your superpowers again?" I'm rich.
By far the best line.
I thought he was gonna go, say I'm rich, bitch, go Rick James on them, but he didn't. He went all Bruce Wayne on them, which is cool too, obviously.
Hey, just being real, man. That's his power.
No, and I thought the line and the timing.
Rich and smart.
Yeah, I thought the line and the timing was great too. So.
And that's kind of like an age-old question, like, is Batman a superhero because he doesn't have superpowers, but like he has a great mind and he has the means to do what he needs to do.
Hey,
so
being rich is a superpower.
I like the way they kind of like. Reference that a little bit. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I gotta say, whatever that new Bat vehicle is that we see, it looks really cool. It looks like it can climb up buildings and go under sewers and stuff like that. And I love the shot of Batman when he's going inside, the camera work and the camera angle of seeing it.
Yeah.
Really cool. And then when Bruce Wayne says, or Batman says, "My turn," and then shoots the parademon. It's just such a beautiful shot. The cinematography, I gotta say, in this film, again, we've only just seen a couple little trailers so far, but it does really look stunning so far. And some of the shots that we're seeing, please don't go Man of Steel on us where it's shaky cam.
Yeah. One thing I really want to see is like during the fight scenes is like them actually working together, not just like you're fighting here and you're fighting here.
Well, you saw some of that where
a little bit. Like I want to see that present throughout.
I agree.
I mean, obviously, again, I'm referencing like Marvel. We see in the first Avengers that scene where like they're panning around every one of them and like. The Hulk is throwing something, and then Thor hits him from there. Like, just the fact that they're all interacting with each other during the fighting was great.
And Guardians of the Galaxy, even too, like even getting back to Marvel.
Yeah, maybe a smaller scale, but I just want to see like that team aspect really come together.
Yeah, I agree for sure. We also get to see a shot of Victor Stone playing for, it looks like GCU, the Gotham City University is my guess in who he's playing for. So we get to see him playing football, and I wonder how much of the backstory they're going to go into and all these characters, because we do see glimpses of that, and which we're going to talk about in a second on some of the other characters. But it's interesting because, again, I'm assuming this film's going to be around the 2 hour and 15, maybe 2.5 hour mark. So, you know, with all the team building we're going to need to do with dealing with Steppenwolf, Batman recruiting all the characters, it's going to be interesting to see how much of the backstory they're going to dive into to all these characters. You know, because obviously they're all going to have their own solo films, of course, but it's just interesting to see little snippets of stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to find a balance. Like, there should be good, you know, the story, and then some backstory would be nice, but also action. It's going to be hard to balance everything, but we'll have to see how they do that.
Yeah, definitely. And I gotta say, the shot where Aquaman just stops the water, the tidal wave from coming in with his trident, so cool. Like, again, that's just making me want to see it in IMAX that much more. Like, it's such a cool shot, and it actually looks convincing. It's not like an overbloated CGI mess, at least from the trailer, where I'm like, this does not look convincing. It really looks good, so I'm loving the look of that. It just gets me more pumped and excited to see the James Wan Aquaman film. Like, I know we're focused...
Not the James Cameron Aquaman film?
Oh, I wish. Only an Entourage, guys. Sorry. But no, seriously, getting back to this, I like it. I'm really getting super excited. I know we're on Justice League. I can't wait for James Wan's Aquaman. Like, and one other thing I'm curious about is because we see Aquaman with the trident. I wonder, like, obviously we know that Orm, his half-brother, is going to play an integral part in the Aquaman film. I just wonder, like, you know, is he still king, or is Aquaman still, or is Arthur Curry still, is he the king now? So it's going to be interesting to see where that all lies. So one can wonder.
Yeah, we also get the shot of Barry Allen in the prison talking to someone who you don't know in the trailer, but I mean,
it's his father.
It's his dad. So that's kind of, you know, another backstory that we're going to have to maybe delve into a little bit. We're obviously going to get some because we'll see that scene, but we'll have to see how much they go into each character. And obviously, Wonder Woman's going to have her movie come out before this, but the other three aren't going to. So we'll have to see how much they save for their solo films and how much they go to in this movie.
Yeah, and of course, if you watch the TV show of The Flash, Jason, you would know that in season 1... You need to. You would know. Tell them, guys, in the comments. He needs to watch it. You would know
if
it.
enough people comment for me to watch The Flash, I'll do it.
Do it, guys. Do it for
100
Jason.
comments.
Do it for Jason, guys. But yeah, getting back to this. In season 1 of The Flash, a big focus of the storyline is on Barry's father, Henry Allen, and dealing with, you know, the death of his mother and also the Reverse Flash. So I wonder how much they're setting up for the solo Flash movie on the Reverse Flash being in there and setting up the backstory with his dad. So I like how they're already diving deep in that. If you did pay attention and notice, the actor who's playing his father is actually Billy Crudup, who plays Dr. Manhattan in Zack Snyder's Watchmen. So Zack Snyder keeping with the same actors. I thought that was cool seeing him in there. And also, we forgot to mention the shot right before this with Barry Allen. We get to see our first glimpse of I think it's Amber Heard playing Mara. So that's really cool seeing her in the water. Again, I like the water movements. They really look convincing, not making me think CGI or this doesn't look real underwater. I like the shots we're seeing. And I wonder too, is Mara Aquaman's girlfriend right now, or are they dating yet? So it's going to be interesting to see, because I'm assuming they have a bonded friendship at least. So it's going to be curious to see what happens, you know, when we see them in the film.
And then we also see the Amazonians from Wonder Woman's people fighting the parademons too, and it kind of reminded me of Lord of the Rings a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like just the way that you see it and the way that it's shot, it kind of like gave me that vibe a little bit.
It's a good vibe.
It was pretty cool. So we'll have to see, you know, how much of that we get, if that's just backstory or if they're kind of playing off of what already happened in the Wonder Woman movie.
Right, no, but it's cool to see again if that is in the past, like just how long the Amazon
flashback. Or
yeah,
something,
exactly, that's what I'm thinking. How long the Amazonians have been like dating back to how long they've been fighting parademons, so that's going to be cool to see. Or if this is in the present and they're fighting Amazonians, I'm thinking more it's a flashback, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. Or it could be the Flash is giving Wonder Woman a nightmare vision. You know, you never know. It's a Zack Snyder film. We then get an amazing shot of Batman driving the Batmobile, and then we see some parademons like attacking the Batmobile, and Batman's firing his machine guns right at them. This is a time, Jason, I do not mind Batman killing, and I know it was into the story of Batman v Superman, like, you know, and Superman brought the good out in him.
Yeah, I don't mind him killing at all, so.
I mean, it just bothers me. I don't mind the Punisher killing, but look, I digress. Getting back to this is really a time where, again, I don't mind Batman killing, and this looked awesome. And also, I gotta say, I know it reminds a lot of people of Owlman, and I feel them. I'm not gonna argue that. He looks sick in those goggles, for me personally. And I gotta say, too, yes, it would have been cool to see him in the blue and white goggles like we saw in Batman v Superman, but If they end up doing that at some point too in this movie, great. If not, those goggles look really sick. I like how it makes him look more tactical, when he's wearing those. And I gotta say too, when Wonder Woman just jumps in there with that long distance jump we saw her in from Batman v Superman when she was fighting Doomsday, and she helps, again, that teamwork you were talking about, where we get to see Wonder Woman helping Batman out, jumping in to save Batman, or at least fighting with the parademons. We also saw a shot earlier in that tank-like thing, in the wall thing, where Batman was saving Wonder Woman. So again, there's more of that teamwork. But that's such a cool shot of Wonder Woman jumping in there to help Batman out and taking out the parademons. I didn't notice it at first, but I had to pause a few times. Such a cool shot.
Yeah, they kind of snuck it in there real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a pretty good job of giving you glimpses and making you excited. That's what this trailer should be doing, getting you excited for this movie and hopefully the rest of all the other movies that are coming out, while not really spoiling anything story wise, which they kind of did with Batman v Superman. So,
right. Oh, yeah. No, I remember we talked. I think that was.
I honestly think that hurt the movie a little bit from that trailer.
I think that was one of our first. I think that might have been our first video where we talked about that particular trailer. So
maybe.
Yeah, it definitely would have been nicer if they would have saved that for the film. But getting back to this, when we see our first shot of J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon, by the way, obviously he does. He's always going to remind me, of course, of J. Jonah Jameson. He's the best in those movies.
Yeah.
He's incredible. But getting back to this, he really does look like Commissioner Gordon. I loved his look. In the little exchange he made with Bruce Wayne, I'm already feeling that chemistry and relationship and the backstory there. I gotta say, I love that line, and there is a lot of subtext and meaning to it. It's good to see you playing well again with others. He's, of course, referencing and mentioning the two Robins. Dick Grayson, which has been announced that there is a Nightwing movie coming, which is awesome. That's going to take place in Bloodhaven. And also, it mentions, we saw in Batman v Superman, we saw that Robin suit. And it says
Joker killed him.
That Joker killed him. We also saw in Suicide Squad that Harley Quinn was an accomplice. You see in the subtext on that music video at the beginning when they're playing and showing the expositional background stuff. So we do know that he's talking about them when he's saying it's good to see you playing well with others. So I wonder, again, it looks like they're setting up all these backstories for all these solo films, with The Flash with the dad, Aquaman with Mera and Orm with the Trident, and then with Batman here with the two Robins. So I'm really hoping for a Red Hood storyline. I'd love to see that. And it looks like, I'm not saying they're going to do that for sure, but just with some of these lines, maybe, I'm really hoping, because if you see Batman under the Red Hood, I'm not going to get into it, even though I'm sure you guys all know who he is. It's a really great storyline, and it gets really deep and personal into the Batman mythos. So I'm really hoping at some point, I'm not saying the solo one with Matt Reeves is going to be that, but at some point in time, I'm hoping that they do go into that, because they already teased us with that dead Robin suit, and they're talking about working with others. And you mentioned it, the line by Aquaman, dressed like a bat. I dig it. And then Batman says, maybe temporary.
Just more humor.
Oh, it's great. But I like it. It's well timed. Again, I don't mind the balance of a little bit of humor. As long as the story is working, I don't mind adding some humor to break a little bit of the tension. As long as it's balanced out the right way and with a good story and they're working together, as you said, and the action is kick-ass. I'm going to love it at that point, because you're more forgiving to little humorous stuff like that. But that stuff worked for me. I love those lines. And I got to say, too, it's really cool in that Comic-Con teaser how Bruce Wayne rather says to Arthur Curry, Aquaman, I hear you can talk to fish. And then he says, you're dressed like a bat. I dig it. They're both talking about each other's, they're a bat and fish. So I thought that was, in a humorous way, I thought that was really cool.
Giving each other a little shit,
Yeah, but I thought it was really cool. I thought that was funny. So,
well, we're talking about all this kind of backstory and subtext and setups. I'm hoping this movie doesn't fall victim to just trying to set up for the future. It has to be its own entity. Otherwise, it's gonna fail, kind of like all the rest of their movies.
And that's kind of why when I'm asking you, how much in that 2.5 hours are they gonna delve deep into those other backstories? Because I want to see little glimpses of that stuff that make me care more about these characters.
Yeah,
but saving it for the other films while balancing the story of what's going on here.
Enough so that you care, but not too much to where this is what should be in their own movie. So.
For instance, the Harley Quinn and Joker origin story, I want to actually see that in a whole movie. I don't want to see it 2 seconds.
Well, we would have, but we didn't.
Yeah, I know, but that's the point we're making. Learn from your mistakes. So, and last shot we got to talk about is my favorite shot of the entire trailer by far. Aquaman on the Batmobile.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
that looks sick.
And again, working together as a
team.
That's
the teamwork I'm talking about.
Absolutely. And Batman gives him the signal, go ahead, do your thing. I also like seeing...
jumps off.
Oh, that is such a sick shot. Again, makes me want to see it in 3D IMAX where they're coming at you and he's jumping at it. Looks so sick. And I gotta say, I love how we're seeing Aquaman use his powers without the water. Because obviously most of the world is covered in water and that's his domain. That's where he rules. But still, to see how badass of how much of a badass he is without the water, I think that's so cool and I think that's smart that they're showing him doing that. But I gotta say again, this is just a trailer. We were super duper hyped for Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, and we did give those positive reviews, but I think between you and I, we still want a little better stories.
Oh, yeah.
And better interactions between the characters and motivation. So I'm hoping that they crack it on this one. I did love Man of Steel. I really enjoyed that film. Yeah, I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I liked it a lot. Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad can be
great moments,
yes.
Especially Batman v Superman. Like, so many great things done,
Absolutely.
but like,
well, and I like the
so
theme,
many
and
bad
I love
things
the. But getting to Suicide Squad, there are entertaining moments. I love the themes in that. There's some great
Yeah.
about control and some of the other things. There's some great themes. It's just the villain and some of the motivations and are
The
really
story.
and the story not very great. But getting back to this again from the trailer, it made me excited and it didn't tell us too much. That's what a good trailer is supposed to do. Get us more excited and pumped. And I'm not going to get my expectations too crazy high. I'm going to keep them in check. But this is a Justice League movie, and I have been waiting years to see this. So that being said, I'm looking really forward to this. It sucks that it's only March right now. But again, I'm going to keep my expectations, under control. And I'm excited to see it, though.
and I think that's what we all have to do. I mean, when you place super high expectations on a movie, it's kind of hard for, even if it's a great movie, to like totally meet what you thought it was going to be. So I'm just like you said, I'm definitely keeping my expectations in check. I'm really excited to see the movie, but I'm just hoping for a good movie. That's all I can really
And also,
hope for.
we forgot to mention, too, we're hoping, obviously, we're going to see Superman, as you mentioned, and I'm assuming we're going to see Green Lantern at some point in the film, too. So
That'd be cool.
yeah, that's going to be interesting. So
Which one are we going to see, though?
it's either going to be, obviously, they announced the Green Lantern Corps, but it's either going to be Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, maybe Kilowog, maybe someone else from OA. We'll have to see. So that's going to be interesting. Again, probably going to set it up, but like you said, I hope they don't do this feels like a setup to all the other films. I just want it to feel like its own thing, too.
That's the one thing I'm a little bit worried about, but we'll just have to wait and see. But
November 17th.
Anyways, that's going to do it for our review/analysis of this trailer. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments section, and if you guys like this, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.